coming to you from Jezero crater on the surface of Mars. This is Mr. C.
Well, 8th graders, happy Tuesday to you. And how'd you like that movie clip, Unstoppable? Here's just a little bit of it. And what was it trying to demonstrate? So here it is.
We have an unmanned train rolling into a highly populated area with no air brakes.
Yeah. Over 6, what's up? There's an unmanned train on the northbound track. It's under power?
I didn't actually watch this whole movie. I just watched the trailer, and I've showed the trailer year after year. It's a great demonstration of what science term? Big Mo, M-O. What does that stand for? Momentum. Momentum is an object's mass times its acceleration. In essence, it's speed. So I've got an object. Ping pong ball. Does it have much mass? No. And does it have much velocity right now? No. So does it have much momentum? Say no. No, it doesn't. The train, however, had a lot of momentum. Anyway, it freaks me out seeing that. Just thinking about a runaway train. And it says it was based on real events. Man, that's scary. So I wanted you to see it. So momentum. And will that be on Friday's test? Oh, sure. Yeah. Remember, test on Friday. So if you're wise, you're logging information down, and you must, not an option, bring a note card filled out on the front and on the back with information on this test. So, and are you going to post the exact information on Wednesday's homework notes site? Yes, I am. So, hey, by the way, while I've got this out, you are going to get to in fact, you must use a note card on the semester exam. You've got to, not an option. Fill out the front and the back. I'd even let you use the larger size note card. You know, that's about twice as big. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Why? Well, for a number of reasons. Number one is there a lot of data, a lot of information that the test will cover. Yep. Are you going to tell us everything? Well, not all the exact questions, but the topics. You bet. Yeah. So again, you've got to use one of these babies. Now, if you don't use it and you take it without it and you do well, that's fine. But if you bomb it, you will have to retake it. You know, there's retakes later in the week. You'll have to retake. Yeah. It'll be a retake. Like, I think everybody else will be done, and maybe it's Thursday that makeups or retakes take place. So if you use a note card, but it's real skinny, hardly any information on it, or none at all, it's not looking good, sports fans. So my hypothesis would be you'll be retaking. So I don't want you to. Hey, do you notice what all that is designed to do? The note card, the retake, to help you get a good score. I want you to get a good score. Now, I wanted to show you this. This is not pretty. So a heads up, not pretty. But again, it's a teaching picture. Have a look at it. It looks like a windshield, Mr. C, on a car. Uh-huh. Yeah. And it's got a big hole in it. Uh-huh. What could have possibly made the big hole? I'm just making a hypothesis. I do not know for certain. My guess is it's very similar to my friend and student at Moody Bible Institute some 50 years ago who didn't have his seatbelt on. And his car was going very fast, and it stopped. And inertia took over. Do you remember what inertia is? Inertia is resistance to change. If you're moving, it's resistance to stop you from moving. You're going to keep on moving. And you know what it says? It's Newton's first law, right? Newton's first law of motion. An object in motion will keep on moving in a straight line at the same speed unless acted upon by a force. So, Bob Stupelik, his car stopped. He kept on going at 60 miles an hour or whatever it was, right out of the car. I mean, he could have so easily gone to heaven right then. He knew he was a miracle person. So this should be really good motivation to wear your seatbelt, huh? So all your life. So not pretty, right? So there is that. Now I'm going to take you skydiving a little bit later. I'm going to have you skydive into the blue hole in Belize. So you're going to get a little idea of what it was like when I skydived that one time, and what it was like when my daughter skydived over 200 times. It scares me just watching her. So anyway, so I'll come back to that. Okay, how are we doing time-wise? Pretty good. Now, Mr. C, are you doing a roller coaster? I'm going to do a roller coaster every day. Is that all right? So what's the name of the roller coaster today? Orion. Where is it? Ohio. So I'll explain that in a little bit. So you saw, I better show you this first. Do I have this still? I showed you the whole video of this. So I wanted to show you, yeah, there it is. Okay. Okay. So again, a little snippet of a teaching video. Felix Baumgardner free-falling from space. Now, he was at 120,000 feet. What did we figure that was in miles? 24 miles up. Whoa, baby. Airplanes fly, the max is for a commercial jet that you fly on and I fly on, about 40,000 feet. So 40,000 divided by 8 miles. He was 3 times that high. He had to have oxygen. He had to have a suit that would keep him warm. It's so cold up there. Might be 100 below 0 Fahrenheit up there where he jumped from. Now, you already spent a little time on what a free fall is. A free fall is just when the only force making you come toward the earth is gravity. So when he jumped out, there was no air where he was. That's why he had to have an oxygen mask and container. So for a number of, he fell for 4 minutes and change. So, excuse me. So anyway, because of that, he had to be breathing oxygen because there ain't no O2 at 24 miles, or almost none. I mean, you die and just couldn't breathe. So anyway, so there's no nitrogen up there. So for the first number of minutes, he was in free fall. Only gravity was the force pulling on him, acting on him. Eventually what happened? The air thickened up as he got closer to the earth, and then there was another force on him that started to slow him down. He got up to 767 miles an hour, faster than the speed of sound, and the reason was there was no air to act as fluid friction to slow him down for the first couple of minutes. So he was truly in free fall. Now, the skydivers that you're going to see are not in free fall in a technical sense, scientifically. Why? Because there's not just one force. There's gravity, Earth's gravity acting on them, but also the air acting, the friction of the air acting on them to kind of resist or slow them down against that force. So, anywho, I'm going to have to sniffle. So, Felix Baumgardner, pretty amazing. So, like I say, in a little bit, I'm going to have you jump into the blue hole, and it's not technically free fall. It's skydiving, but there's gravity and there is friction from the air. So those two forces. Okay, so I want to do very quickly. Don't forget the roller coaster. I'm not. So on this week's test, I'm going to ask you what a push or pull is, a force. I'm going to ask you, how do you know if you're in motion? You're moving against a reference point in the background. What's the formula for speed? D over T, distance over time. So what was Laura's point the last time she spoke? You can do whatever you set out to if you practice it enough. I'm going to ask you about these babies. Hurry, Mr. C, hurry. I am. Do I have it? I think so. Here it is. Yep. I'm going to ask you about proteins. And I'm going to ask you, what's the chance one moderate protein or modest protein, 150 amino acids in size, would form by chance or evolution? 1 over 10, the fraction 1, numerator 1, the denominator 10 to the 100, not 64th, 164th. That will be a bonus. Get it right? There it is, 100, 10 to the 164th. So I'm going to ask you the stuff about proteins and amino acids. There's about 20 amino acids that make up the tens of thousands of proteins in your body. The reason they can do that, you can reuse them over and over and over again, and it makes for a unique protein because the amino acid chain is totally different. So anyway, I'm going to ask you about all of that. I'm going to ask you Newton's laws. The second law of force equals mass times acceleration. So I'm going to ask you about that. I'm going to ask you about the first law, the law of inertia. An object in motion will stay in motion in a straight line unless acted upon by a force. An object that is at rest is going to stay at rest unless it's acted upon by a force. That means it's not moving. Okay, I'm going to ask you about the Mars heli. What's its job? Just to fly and take pictures of Mars. So I'm going to ask you about Newton's third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. Action, equal, opposite, reaction. Action, equal, and opposite reaction, like a jet, airplane, or a balloon. Okay. Acceleration, I'm going to ask you what that is. Speeding up, slowing down, and changing direction. That's why in these roller coasters, I'm not interested, because of acceleration. You're going to change direction very quickly, and because of inertia, your body is going to want to fly out of that car. And you'll feel it. Your body is going to move. So if you turn and move another direction, your body is going to want to keep going that way, even though the car is going that way. That freaks me out. No, thank you. So anyway, the amount of matter that an object has, mass. How hard an object is pulled by the Earth's gravity, that's your weight. So anyway, that quick review, those are the things that I'm going to ask. Don't forget about looking at the constellations. I'll ask you a constellation question. Orion in the west might not even be there now at 8:30, and then right overhead is the Big Dipper, so Ursa Major. So anyway, all of that. Here, I showed you this yesterday. These are the semester exam topics so far. This is the information you're going to want to put on your note card. I'd stick them in your journal right now. SSRs to enjoy and to thank God for. Okay? Gardner smarts, math smart, body smart, art smart, music smart, on and on and on. People smart, God smart. All right. Go Tappy package, gifts, opportunities, talents, abilities, physical appearance, purpose, and the other P. So I'll have to get that dialed in. I'll work at it. And then made in God's image. Superpower, who God made you to be. I'll ask you about that this week too. You'll get a study guide from Laura next Monday. I won't ask you about this on Friday. The scientific method on the roller coasters. Scientific method. Today you're going to do Orion. So problem, which is the highest. Problem, which is the fastest. Because of ones you've been on in the past, you might have a hypothesis about that. Or hypotheses, plural. So the variables controlled are you're going to be on a roller coaster that they're all roller coasters that you're going down either a wooden or a metal track. It doesn't matter. You've got a safety bar, obviously. Okay, and those are the major things. The one variable not controlled, the different roller coasters. Here's the data. And I've got this somewhere. I'll show it to you, maybe. Do I have it? Yeah, here it is. So this will be on the final, not on Friday. There it is. Problem, hypothesis, control the variables, independent variable, different roller coasters, data, diary. All of that leads to a conclusion or conclusion. So anyway, there's that. Let's see. Other topics. Proteins. Today's topics. The metric system. Next Monday you will get this metric system. You will get this metric system sheet, study guide. You'll have to know the King Henry, Kings, kilo, Henry, hecto, and so on. Okay? The standard units, a measurement word everyone knows and uses. Okay, what are the standard units? Length, meter, volume is liter, weight, grams, Celsius. For temperature, okay, and then reasons a metric system is superior, base 10, pretty simple, not many things to learn. Okay, periodic table of the elements. I'm going to do a little review every day with you. Periodic table of the elements, you've got about 20. This one's not yours. This is 7th grade. So all the symbols and elements and the chemistry stuff, which I'll go over later. Bible verses and reasons you can trust the Bible. Here they are. Woo! I have to hurry. Okay. Bible verses. You're going to have Genesis 1:1, 1:3, 1:26, John 1:3. So Psalm 139, 13, and 14. So I'll give you that sheet too next week. Reasons you can trust the Bible, beyond the test. History, archaeology, science. Okay, fulfilled prophecy. God said so. So all of those. There's Gardner's Smarts, Go Tappy package, Superpower, all there. Okay. So anyway, SSRs to enjoy and thank God for. Okay, so all of that. Okay, and then your homework will be on RenWeb, but what you've got to do in your homework is, I'm trying to recall it, I will tell Mr. Philip in the morning. He'll put it on the board. It'll be in RenWeb. Okay? So anyway, all right, it's time to go skydiving and ride a roller coaster. So skydiving, here we come. I want to show you this first. Tomorrow, I didn't have time today. I'm going to teach you about centripetal force. I'm getting there. All right, let's go skydiving. This is a start. I had to do this on my skydive, and my daughter was ahead of me like these other skydivers. So here they go out of the plane. So have a look. Anyway, you'll watch that whole video. So down below, you see there in the middle, you see that little hole down there in the middle of the ocean down there in Belize? They're skydiving into that. They probably jumped from about 13,500 feet. That's what I jumped out at. What is that, 2.5 miles? So, and will they be experiencing free fall? Nope. Because it's not just gravity. You can hear the air going by. That plane wouldn't fly if there wasn't air, right? If there wasn't fluid friction. So anyway, I don't know what the plane is traveling. Maybe, I don't know, 100, 120, I'm not sure. But it's a little scary just leaning out of the door and jumping. So it's scary. Now, remember, I was hooked up to a master skydiver, and he had the chute. So anyway, you'll go skydiving into the blue hole, and then you're going to ride Orion, the Orion roller coaster, and experience inertia big time. So anyway, have some fun with all of that, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Philip to show you the skydiving video and Orion, the roller coaster. And then just a little reminder, you're going to need to, on the 19th of May, that's a Wednesday, so 2 weeks from tomorrow, you're going to need to turn in your journal with all the science activities filled out and the microscope drawings and labels. So keep that in mind. So I will see you on Downhill Day. And take it away, Mr. Philip.